population census. And people who are familiar or that follow Tidy Tuesday would have noticed that the package was used for week 4 of Tidy Tuesday for this year.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how audible am I?
For me, it's 9.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, 8.
Okay. I'm trying to, I don't have my earphones. They are not functioning. So I hope I am still audible. I've tried to increase my volume.
Yeah,
Oh, it can't go
yeah.
past.
No, you are good, ladies.
Okay, so as you heard, my name is Shelmith. I'm very happy to be here. I must admit I was here 2 hours ago. So when I looked at the poster the last time I saw 6. So I was here and until 6:05 I was like, okay, why aren't they sending me the link? Then I realized, oh my God, okay, we are 2 hours ahead. So this is happening at 8 p.m. in Nairobi. Thank you for having me. This is a topic I'm very passionate about. And why is it? I'm passionate about package development because all along, or rather, there's a time in 2017, our company based in Nairobi had hired someone based in the US to come and teach us package development. And the process was very tough and hard. In those days, there weren't good like protocols put in place to create packages. And in 2019, I attended the USAR 2019 conference in France, and I took part in one of the tutorials where Hadley, Jenny, and what's his name? Some other guy from you is about package development. And in my head, I was like, wait, is that it? Because, and I'm sure a lot of people here think package development is such a big thing and such a complex thing that only the big wigs can work on packages. And I'm just here to show you that no, according to me, package development is as easy as 1 + 1. And I don't know whether I posted something today that I had posted earlier in Jan, just showing people how I came to learn about package development. For me, it was totally self-taught. So from Hadley's book, the R Packages book, chapter 2, he explains in detail how to create a very minimal package. And for me, that's what I've been using all along. So what happens in that book, other chapters give more detail on what is covered in chapter 2. So I sat down and wrote the chapter 2 steps in a very small text file that I'm going to share with you right now. And through that, when my very first package was a very simple package, I think it was a package that contained a data set. I used to have a data set I simulated and I loved working with it. So every time when I'm teaching, when students asked for the data set, I was like, okay, now how do I keep on sharing this in CSV? Then I was like, wait, I can actually create a package that contains this data. And that's what I did. So when I created my first package like that, I was like, okay, time to create a bigger package. So that's when the idea of the Kenyan census came in, because I looked at that. I was also looking for other packages to teach with, to teach tidyverse concepts with. And I remember I looked at the data and it was published in a kind of a book, a volume, like a set of PDFs. And I was like, okay, how will we use this? How will we use these data sets in their current format? And I was out, I had just left my employer and I was looking for a job and I just needed to spend my time writing code. And that's when I came up with that idea. And I'm happy people took it up. It's a project I worked on for like, I think a month. And up to date, people are still using or rather finding that work useful. So today we are going to, sorry, when I'm teaching package development, I don't use slides. We are going to have a live session. And what I want you to do is, instead of you doing the same thing from your end, I just want you to follow what I'll do, because package development is a linear process. Step 2 depends on step 1. Step 3 depends on step 2 and step 1. If we leave you at step 2 and we are at step 6, it will be very hard to catch up. So I will just really pray that you just follow me. But I'm just uh, sorry, I'm going Jim Hester. Yes, thank you, Emma. Oh yeah, we were with Emma during that 2019 France conference. That's when I met Emma Rand. Thank you. Yeah, it was Jim Hester. Control V. So I gave such a similar training last week to a group of people from Nairobi R. It's the same thing, so I didn't want to duplicate work. So under the sorry, when you open that sorry, when you open that link, you'll see a tab written workshop material. When you download that, you're going to get a file that we are going to use today. So allow me to share my screen. Please give me permission to share my screen. And just another disclaimer is here we are not making a rocket like a big package. We're making a very minimal package. The thing with package development is that the idea is the same. So here we are going to generate a package that contains very simple functions, a function like a function that takes two numbers and adds them, or a function that greets people in them, like something very simple. The idea is the same. So what differentiates one package from the other are the functions. You can have different packages doing different things. You can have a data set only package, you can have functions only package, and you can have a package that has both. So for me, for example, the Archenia census package is just a data sets package. So if you want a package that contains functions, you really need to know how to write functions. I think that's the bare minimum of developing a package. You have to know how to first write sorry, you have to know how to first write R code, and then you also have to know how to write functions. So here in this training, I'm really assuming that guys know how to one write R code, two functions. Okay, so if you've opened the shoulder, just a minute. Let me restart my I had so many things open. Close. Please don't worry, my desktop is very dirty. I am yet to organize it. So I'm opening a fresh R session. Again, as I've stated earlier, I don't teach these with slides because I'd rather do it live in R so that you see how it's done. Okay, why is it taking time? Okay. So things to notice, one, I'm starting on a very clean slate. So on the right, wait, can you see my screen? Someone, can you see my screen? Okay, thanks. What you're going to notice is that at the top right, I'm not working on any project. So here you'll see project into brackets none. So again, something I have to explain, or again put a disclaimer. There are very many ways of creating packages. Okay, not very many, but there are different ways. But for me, I really follow chapter 2 of that book, and this is the book I'm talking about. So if you've opened that link and downloaded the file, you'll see this, at least the the online version of the book. I've also included other links. I've also included links to other material that you might find useful. This was the tutorial that we went through in France in 2019. So if you go through that, it's also good resource. So one thing we are not going to cover today, three things things, sorry, not one. First, generating vignettes. Vignettes just to give more information about the package. We are not going to carry out any unit tests, and we are not going to show you how to submit packages to CRAN. Rome was not built in a day. So I think it will be better to first know how to create a package, a minimal working package, before you learn other things. And also because of time, I only have 1 hour, and I think right now I have like 45 more minutes. So this document contains 20 steps. We are not going to cover all of them, but I'll try, I think only step 16. I'm not going to touch on step 16 and I think step 15. But anyway, so I need to get a glass of water. My throat is irritating. But before then, the first step involves generating these 3 packages, DevTools, and use this. So before, like I was explaining to you in 2017, we used to just use DevTools, and the process was not as easy. Then use this came along, and use this. I always explain use this as this person who comes picks you from the house, takes you to a very posh big restaurant, orders very nice meals for you, comes to your house, cleans it top to bottom, then comes, gets you from the hotel and brings you to the house. Like, use this has made package development very easy. Like, I don't think we deserve such a package, because to me it has been like working with it is very flawless, and you're going to see from what I'm going to explain today. So step 1, you need to install these 3 packages. Available is what we are going to use in step 1. When you come up with a package name, I for us not to have duplicate package names. For example, if we have deployer, you can't come up with your own deployer package doing something different. If I have like our Kenya Sensors package, you can't come up with your own our Kenya Sensors package. So in order to duplicate, what is it called? In order to avoid duplication of package names, the very first thing you need to first come up with a package name, and then use the available function that is in the available package to check whether it's okay to use that name. So as I go grab a bottle of water in like only a minute, please come up with package name. It can be anything. Come up with a package name and type it on the chat, then we'll pick the best. When I was developing the R Kenya Census package, how did I come up with the name? R because it's R, Kenya because the data is based in Kenya, on Kenyan stuff, and then census because it was census data. So I know we've not started creating our functions, and that's what you should do. When you're creating a package, you should think about the end product. Okay, what is this package supposed to do? What functions is it supposed to contain, or what data sets will it contain? Then from there, think backwards and now come up with a name. But because this is just a training session, we can come up with any name. So I don't know why I'm tempted to call this package Jollof, but anyway, let me let me let me just wait for you people to suggest names on the chat as I come back. I wouldn't know the difference between Nigerian jollof and Ghanaian jollof, but I've never had jollof before. I saw a feature today on news where they were talking about some Ghanaian restaurant in Nairobi. I should try. Anyway, so jollof. So we are going to call it our jollof. Okay. By the way, I don't think we have any Swahili speakers here. Most of the time when I'm training, I tend to use the word sawa or something close to that, which just means, okay, let's move on. So yeah. Oh, Vera, hi. Yeah, so when I say sawa, it just means, okay, let's move on. When I say asante, it means thanks. So I forget not everyone is a Swahili speaker, but good. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to load my packages. So the first one is DevTools. And please be attentive because it will be hard to go back to what we've covered. I see DevTools loads use this, but I don't know why I'm always still loading use this. I'm so used to it and it doesn't hurt. Okay, and then library available.
Okay,
So
hello. Sorry, I would like to just take 1 minute here. For those who might wanted to maybe ask a question or two, please just put the questions in the chat box. We'll take them after the main session, the training session. Thank you.
okay, thanks. So the package itself is called available and the function is called available. So what we want to check is there a package called rjollof that exists on GitHub, on CRAN, or on Bioconductor? And is it a valid name or is it an offensive name? So if it's an offensive name, I don't think you can, it will agree. You will be able to use it as a package name. So, but I don't know if you know about Bioconductor. I've seen Stephen here, he will be able to tell us about Bioconductor, but I think it's like the crown of guys who are in biology or genomics, such things. So anyway, our package is called rjollof. We want to check whether one, it's available, two, whether it's available, one, whether it's valid, and two, whether it's available on GitHub, CRAN, and Bioconductor, or this should be or. Okay, so hit enter. Oops. Sorry. Okay, what do I do with this? Take it down there. So what this is going to do, it searches online, and you're going to see some pop-ups. It searches online, on Wikipedia, on various online pages to check whether we can use the package name. So just give it some time. Can you see the pop-ups? Someone just, no, I can't access the chat easily. Someone just unmute yourself, tell me whether you can see the pop-up on Chrome.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. I wish there was a way to I don't like this Zoom thing when it comes at the top because it confuses me. Let me see if I can drag it. Let me see if I can drag it somewhere there. Okay, so it opens up rjollof on Wikipedia. There's nothing. Opens it up on this site. Nothing. Opens it up on Wiktionary. Nothing. So we are good. And also, if you look at the results of this, it tells you then it's valid, but this actually means the opposite. Like you would think that this says that the name is available on CRAN, it's available on Bioconductor, and it's available on GitHub, but it actually means the opposite. Like it's not available on CRAN, meaning we can use it. It's not available on Bioconductor, meaning we can use it, and it's not available on GitHub, meaning we can use it. So this is a safe name. So we are good to go with rjollof. Let's try dplyr. Although sometimes the available package really jams. What do you call jams? Like it freezes. So I hope it's going to tell us about. So what I expect when we hit enter, name valid, yes, but when it comes to available on CRAN, it will have an X because this name is available on CRAN. On Bioconductor, I'm not sure. It's also available on GitHub, so we expect to have an X. Let's see. Okay, it pops up. What does deployer mean? Nothing. Oh, we've written deploy. I meant deployer. Oh, it's actually, okay. Let me see. Deploy, okay, deploy. I don't know why it's picked deploy yet. We wanted deployer, but as you can see, we can't use the name because it's available on CRAN. We can't use it. You can't use it because it's available on GitHub, but then it's not available on Bioconductor. But anyway, that's the second step. We are together up to that point. So the first one involves installation. The second one, check whether your name is viable. So we have a package name, Arjolof. Okay. Now we need to create the package directory. We want to work inside a project. So if you know R, you know what I mean by project. And that project should have the package name as its name. So I know we've already loaded use this. So why do I have to use this system of calling functions? I still do, just in case someone has forgotten to load their packages. So what I want to do is I want to create my project inside my GitHub profile, not profile, directory folder. So tab, I want to go to my GitHub, GitHub. Then here, that's where we are going to have our jollof. Our jollof. Are we together? So what this will do, it will create a project, what do you call it? A project folder. And then it's going to open up a new session with that project as active. So enter. So it has opened a new project. And how do you know it's a new project? When you look at the top right here, you'll see Arjolof. So this is the session we are going to be working from. But I want to take you back to what we have here. What happens when you create a project folder? It creates the folder itself. So under GitHub, under Arjolof, and just to make sure, if I go to my desktop, GitHub, here it is, Arjolof. So Arjolof, when it's created, it comes with some files, and that's what I want to explain. So what does it do? It sets the active project to the Arjolof one. That's what we've minimized. It creates an R folder over here. And by the way, I'm now explaining step 3. It creates an, okay, we can see it right now. We'll have to go to the new session, but it creates an R folder. It creates a minimal description, and this is the description here. It gives the package title, the package itself, but you have to give the title, you have to give the other credentials, and so on and so on. And it also creates some other files, which I'm going to explain when we go to the other session. So after step 2, I close this. Remember, this is the blank project. This is the session, the very first session we had. But now since we've created a package, we've created the package folder, it has generated a new project, and that's what we are going to be working from. So after step 2, you close that. Don't save. Then you go to the new one. You go to the new one, which is the Arjolof. So that we are together, I open my package development file so that we can go through it together. So when you look at this project, there are files that have been created. So the first one is your R file folder. This is where all your functions will be hosted. So for example, in the deployer package, I'm assuming we know how to use deployer. Deployer has functions such as filter, select, mutate. Let's use the 3. So each function needs to be in its own script. So if we were to create, if we wanted our package to contain a function called select, we will have a script here called select.r that will contain the select function. I'll explain that in step 4. But anyway, the R folder contains your function scripts. Each function on its own script. I know we are used on a normal basis. There's always some of us, we write our codes and we put all our functions in one file, in one script, you know. Here, each function, even though it's a 3-line function, it has to be on its own script. It also generates a description file here. We are going to edit this later. So it has a description file, and then namespace declares the packages that the function exports. So what will happen is when we generate our functions and run a certain code to tell R that I want this function to be part of this package, that package will appear over here as export into brackets, the package, the function name. So if we tell R that, okay, I've created this function, it's called select. I want this function to be part of this package. Once you run a certain function that does that, you're going to see it here written, export into brackets, your function name. So this is never edited by hand. Namespace will never be edited by hand. And then also, there's a way you can create a function, and your function depends on another function. So for example, in your function, you want to use the dplyr, let's say dplyr function, select and filter, or you just want to use the pipe, and you also want to use the pipe operator. So on your function first, there's a way you need to say, my function needs this function from this package. I'll show you later. And also when you do that, that package or that package appears over here as import. So import into brackets, dplyr tells R that your package, your function is going to use a function from this package. Anyway, don't worry, we are going to explain that. I'm going to show you that later. Then it has these 2 files that contain things that we need to ignore when we are pushing our file to Git and when we are building our package. So for example, if you open this, you'll have the project itself is not pushed to Git. And also, yeah, I think I'm not sure what this .user stands for, but I know these files contain things that should not be pushed to Git or should not be included while building the package per se. Okay, that's step 3. So step 4. So this is the exciting part. So we are writing our first function. And I want us to do this together. So come up with an idea of a function. I'll come up with the first one. So our first function will be a function that takes 2 numbers and adds them. Simple to the point. So it will take 2 numbers like 10, 20 and give us a result of 30. So there are 2 ways you can do that. And I hope this will be clear. There are 2 ways you can do that. The first one is open up a script as usual. So we have untitled 1. Then write your function in this script. So I'll call it again Jumuisha. Jumuisha is Swahili for add 2 numbers, like add things. So Jumuisha is a function of 2 numbers, x, y. So just take x plus y. That's it. Now, as human beings who code in R, what happens when you write functions? When you write functions, the very first thing you do is to try out the function. Let me check if this works. So if I give it like 10, 20 over there, it should give me 30, right? I just want to make sure that my package is working. Okay, fine. But when you're developing R packages, you don't do that. You don't test like that. So because me, I still want to test because I just don't want to proceed far along with errors rather. I make sure it's working. I delete this part here. I come to the environment and delete, remove Jumuisha. I know this is a crude way, but for me it works. So remove the Jumuisha object like that. So for me, we are good to go. Then I come here, Control C. The same name I've used to name my, what do you call this? My function, sorry, my function is the same name I'll use to save the script. And this script is saved in the R folder. Save. So when you come here, R folder, you get your first function. So at the end of the day, our RJollof package will contain the Jumuisha function. That is a function that takes two numbers and adds them. That's the first way. The other way, by the way, I've noticed in this new session, we haven't loaded our libraries. So dev tool. Okay, I think that I won't load this because it loads this. The other way, so let's come up with another function. A function that takes in people's names and greets them. So something, oh my God, I think something is on my throat and it's irritating me, sorry. So a package that takes in someone's name and greets. Hi Emma, I hope you're doing well. Hi Shelmith, I hope you're doing well. Hi Hadley, I hope you're doing well. Very simple, a very simple function. So what we do, you come here, use this. The use this package has a function called use R. So under this, oops, you give the name of that function. So for me, in Swahili, greetings are called salamu. So it will be our salamu function. So what this will do, it will open up a new script already labeled salamu. So as you can see, we are still on the active project. Modifies, it's just that it creates our salamu. I don't know what, I'm not very good at testing, by the way, so I'm not sure what this means. But what you see, it has opened up a blank function called salamu.r and it's saved in the R package. So what happens is we need to now write our salamu function over here. Salamu is a function of name. So paste hi name, comma, I hope you are well, full stop. Again, like the R coder that I am, I have to ensure that my function is working. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad, but for me, I still do it. Hi, Jenny. I hope you're well. Then Dad. Salamu. Hi, Dad. I hope you're well. So yeah, then you remove that. Save. Come to the environment. I know there's a whole discussion about removing things like this, but again, for me, it works for now. Higher. So we have two functions, and I've shown you how to create the functions used in two different ways. So I want someone to come up with a third function, a chat, so that we continue. Which other function? Which other function do we include? Someone? Emma. Emma, it's a whole battle. Nigerian and Ghanaian jollof don't even. That's a whole battle. Someone, which other function do we come up with? A function that does what? let's say a function that mchele, yeah, it's rice. Let's say a function that takes in a vector, and if the numbers are divisible by 3 or 5, it returns true, otherwise false. So a function that takes in a vector, for example, 1 to 10, and if a number is divisible by 3 or is divisible by 5, it returns true, otherwise false. I don't know whether you know the concept of modulus. 3 should be 0, like remainder should be 0. So I'm going to use the use R concept. What will I call this? I'll call this modulus 35. Modulus 3, 5. Okay. Oops. Okay, so modulus 3, 5 is a function of a certain vector. Oops. Okay, it's a function of a certain vector. So y, wait, okay, y is equal to, if else vec, a number in vec, divide by 3 is equal to 0, or vec divided by 5 is 0, then true, otherwise false. Then return y. Okay, so save. Let's say our vector here is 1 to 10. So if you have 1 to 10, so you have a paper here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll have false, false, true, false, true, false, 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 true, true. So we'll have true for 3, true for 5, true for 9, and true for 10. Okay, so yes, so false, false, true because of 3, 4, 5, true, 6, 7, 8, 9, and true for 10. Okay, that's enough for now. So we have 3 functions. We have Salamu, we have Jumuisha, and we have modulus. And if you look at them, oops, I have to remove this, sorry. So remove that. Remove, again, I insist this is not good behavior, but if someone finds out, there's a way you can test your functions, and we are going to do that next. But I always test mine as we go. Okay, so the next step, so we've written our functions and they're in the R folder, as we can see. We need to load them to make the packages available for experimentation. So DevTools load all. Okay, then now you can come here and say, the first one was Jumuisha. Let's try this. Let's try with 2 numbers. What is -9 plus -8? Should be -17. That works. Okay. 0, 0. Okay. Jumuisha works. The other one was Salamu. Let me pick a name over here on the chat. I could end up using Emma all my life because I know Emma. Vera. Salamu. Why? Salamu. Vera. Hi Vera, I hope you're well. Salamu. Hadley. Hi Hadley, I hope you're well. Good. Okay, the last one is modulus. So modulus 35. Let me give random numbers. So let me first say x is it no. Let me say modulus 5, 3, 9. I want all of them to be true anyway. 10, 27, 1,000, 900. All this should be true. Yeah, because all of them are divisible, either divisible by 3 or by 5. Anyway, good. Our functions are working. So you can as well do this. Like this is the appropriate way to test your functions. But sometimes I usually think like, okay, let me just do it on the script and then remove everything. But anyway, this is the ideal way to do it. We've tried out our function. Step 6. Now this is the moment of truth. You need to check that your work is okay up this, or a package to be like a good package, a flawless package. It needs to have 0 errors, 0 warnings, and 0 notes. So that's our ideal situation. But I know ours will have warnings, and I'll explain why. But anyway, let's first check. So you just come here and run check. Meanwhile, if you have a question, please post it on chat. Sorry, I'm eating something over here that I really like. They're salty crackers. So I've not had dinner, so I'm sorry. Any question? Okay, so 0 errors, 1 warning. 0 errors, 1 warning, and 0 notes. Why? Because we've not specified a license. So that's why we have 1 warning. 0 errors is a good thing, and 0 notes is also a good thing. Okay, so you can go through, by the way, you can go through documentation for these. I never insist on knowing what, I don't know, whatever this means, me, I don't really care. As long as my package will work eventually. And that's very wrong to say as a trainer, but anyway. Okay, now we've done that. Since we have a minimal viable product, so we need to install it. But for me, since I'm the one developing this, locally, I will need to wait. We've jumped a step. Why am I in step 14? Okay, fine, sorry. After step 7, check before we install, we need to edit our description file. So I will close that and open the description file. Description file. So Arjolof, what is this package about? What the package does in one line, used for training. Sorry, but then, since this is just a dummy package, I'll just write anything to just move forward. It's package used to, package developed during, package developed during package development. Have I repeated myself? It's okay. No one is marking our work. Package developed during package development training. Control C. I'll copy this, what the package does in one paragraph, because I don't have the time. I'm going to copy that. Okay, so version 001. Who are the authors? So Shelmith, Kariuki. You can read more about editing the description, especially the authors, on the Our Packages book by Hadley. I can't remember it's what chapter. I'm the creator and I'm also the author. I'm going to let my email remain as is. If you've done some research work and written papers, you must know what an ORCID number is. It identifies you in a certain website. I was taught that I think a year or 2 years ago, but I've never used it. License, we don't edit anything past this. So the only thing we edit is the title, the version, the author. Also go to that book and learn how you can insert information if there's more than one author, and then description. So leave license as it is for now. I'll show you how to work on that. Then save. That's the description. Step 9, use pick a license. So sorry if I seem as though I'm repeating myself, but you see these different steps. They have some, or a majority of them have like a whole chapter in the book giving you more information about it. So I'm not very good with licenses. Someone was telling me about licenses. Like you can have licenses for, like there are different licenses. For example, when I came up with the our packages, our Kenya package, our Kenya census package, I developed the package so people can use it. So I didn't want to be paid. I only wanted people to recognize my work, to cite my work, because it was a lot of work. But if you want your data to, or you want your package to not for commercial purposes, or you want people to, licenses are different. Please go read about that. But for training, I always use this. So what you're going to notice is on the once we run this line I've highlighted, you're going to find some licenses, some license files over here somewhere on under the files, and then also under the description you'll notice that this changes. Okay. Okay, the name of license holder, this will be me. So it writes an MD, blah blah blah. So you see what it's done, it has added an MIT. So here is a file. You need to read and know what all this means, but for now, because this is just a dummy package, we won't do that. Step 10, which is also very important, is documenting the function. You see how when you're using a certain package, sorry, when you're using a certain package, when you want to, let's say, look for more information about a function, you come here and say question mark, let's say deployer. Then it opens up a help file. So that's what we want to do. You can't do that if deployer was not documented. So we need to document the function. How do we do that? Let's go to R. The first function was jumuisha. Close this, close that. What do? You place your cursor inside, up at a place inside the function, then come to code, then insert our oxygen skeleton. It gives you this. And please note, this is not just a hashtag. It's a, I don't know what you call this, and does it even have a name? I don't know. It's a special type of hashtag. So title, jumuisha. I always add a line over here that gives the description. And because I am very lazy, I will go to my description and copy this. No, this is description of the function. Okay, fine. This function takes into numbers and adds them. Okay. Parameter X, first number. Note we don't have colons. Second number. Return, what does it return? Summation of X and Y. Export, I leave that as is right now. Example, jumuisha 300 700. That's it. The title, description, the first parameters, of which these will have already been pre-filled. And then return summation of X and Y, and then save. So every time you save that, you need to come and document. And so now what that does is you will see it, and I think this is what was happening way back. When you open the man folder and open this, I really have a feeling this is how we were writing the description, we were documenting codes, longos, like this. So what document, the function document does, it transforms this easy to read, easy to write file into this. And this is read only, so you don't edit these. So every time, so you can place your cursor inside the function, code, insert our oxygen skeleton, fill whatever you need to fill, then run the document function, which is part of DevTools, and then it converts this pretty file into this file that looks latexy. And then now we can open the help file of Jumuisha. Boom. I know this is very familiar to most people. So it tells you, like other functions, Jumuisha, which is part of Arjolof, gives the title, description, how do you use, that's how we'll use the function. It describes the arguments, what do we expect in return, and what are the examples. Good. Close that, close that, close that. Let's go to the second one, which was Salamu. Put your cursor somewhere inside, code, insert our oxygen skeleton, title, Salamu. What does it do? Takes in a name and passes a greeting. Name will be name. I don't even have to describe that. Return a greeting message. Export nothing. Salam. Whose name will we use? We are going to use my second name. People hardly know my second name. My second name is that. Kariuki is my surname. Okay, so that's it. Document. Go to man to make sure we have Salamu has been converted. Awesome. Then come here and question mark Salamu. There it is. Cool. So I hope we are together up to that point. So the last one. Oh, time. Are modulus. Code insert. Okay. This will be modulus 35. What does this do? And returns true if the element of the vector is divisible by 3 or 5 and false otherwise. Takes in a vector and returns true if the element of the vector, if an element of the vector is divisible by 3 or 5 and false otherwise. Create space, a numerical vector, return a vector, vector, a vector, a Boolean, is it Boolean? if an element of the if a Boolean vector where the value is true if an element of the original vector is divisible by 3 or 4 and false. I think sometimes I find this part very what do you call it, time waste. Let me not say time wasting, because the importance of this part is that you are the person who is going to use your package, your functions, knows what the functions are all about. Yeah, so okay, so save, document, and then again I like just confirming man modulus sawa and question mark modular. What, why isn't it coming up? Oh, okay, so there it is. Sorry, I have to rush because of time and it's late here on my end. Observe the changes in the namespace file. You remember what I said about the namespace file? So that whole documenting the function kind of attaches the function to the package. So when you come to namespace, you should have this. If your work is fine until this point, this means that your package, when it's installed, it should have Jumuisha, modulus 35, and Salam. So once we run check again, since we've already set our license, right now we should have 0 warning, 0 error, 0 notes. Or rather, I hope so. Sorry, I think you guys had lost me, I hope for a short time. I always get a pop-up when my internet is not stable, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, sawa. Sorry, I've just opened the, okay. DevTools check.
So we can hear you loud and clear.
Gosh, I hope everything is it. Oh man, what? Argument items with no description. I have to describe everything. Okay, fine. Name. Someone's name. So daft, but anyway. So you have to document everything. Okay. Following instructions to the letter. As that runs, the next step will be to install our package, and still, and since I'm running this package on my file, I'll just need to install it using DevTools install. Because of time, something I want you guys to go check, and this is very important. If you want to come up with a package that will be used by very many people, and the package will contain functions that use functions from other packages. Yes, good. 0 error, 0 warning, 0 notes. Good.
Okay, sorry.
As I
Shell,
was saying,
can I come in now? So we would like to if you can give us your time, we would like you to take it like 7:15, like 15 in the next 15 minutes to just let's have a complete knowledge of this so that we'll all be going on with something. So
It
we'll
is, it is, it is, but you know, this is something you can read on your own. It's still the same thing. But because we have to push our work to GitHub, I have to generate a README. I have to let you people install the package from your end and try out the package itself. It will take some time. So this is something people can read.
okay, great.
Okay, so we've checked again, our work is good. Now I need to install. And I'm installing it this way because I'm the one who's created the package. So DevTools install. Good. So our Jollof has Jumuisha, has Modulars, and has Salamu. We are good to go. So as I was saying, when you have, and it's not hard, if you have a function, if you have a function that uses functions from another package, the same thing applies. You're still going to write your function like this, but somewhere here, you're going to add at import, and then the package, or if you're just using one function from the package. And then also in the description, you need to add imports at the bottom. But please go read this. I think it's chapter 13. Yeah, chapter 13 of the book. Again, it's an assignment. Go read that and you'll understand how to attach or rather use functions from other packages. Again, I'm not a very good with testing, and I've been saying this since last year. I needed to have this in Jan, but I've not found time. But anyway, you can read about that as well. So right now, we've installed the package locally, but how do I make sure that the audience, you guys on this call, will also get this package? So we need to push this work on to GitHub rather. But first, we need to use Git, this function here, so that we get a GitHub somewhere at the bottom. I don't know whether some of you have used Git on our Markdown, like our studio. So sometimes when you're working, I was so used to using Git on the terminal. So when I work on stuff, I just go to the terminal and push my work. But sometimes if you're working in our studio, it can be easier. So what will happen, what will happen is this, to run this, it will create, it will open up a new session. This will be the third session. It will open up a new session, but then we will have a Git panel somewhere, I think between build and tutorial somewhere. So initializing Git repo, adding that. There are 9 uncommitted files. Is it okay to commit them? Yes. A restart of our studio is required to activate the Git pane restart now. I agree. Number 2. Oh, it actually it restarts, not creates another session. Okay. Higher. So you can see now we have our Git pane over here. Then we use GitHub this to now push our files to GitHub. And you remember when I was explaining to you the first time, telling you how use this is just so easy. The authors of Use This have created a function that makes it very easy to create package development. And this is one of the things, like pushing your package to GitHub. So I use number 2. Check the title. Title is okay. Blah, blah, blah. Our title and description, okay, yes. Okay, so this, I'm sending it on chat. Here is the package, but don't install it yet. I don't want us to do double work. You can install it, but first don't install it yet. I want us to create a README, but please open that link and confirm to me on the chat that you can actually see the package. Like you can see the package on my GitHub profile. Just say yes or +1 or something for me to know I can continue. Okay, good. So what you can notice with that package is that it doesn't have a README file. A README is what comes at the bottom, at least to know how to use this package and the functions in it. So what we are going to do is to generate a README file. We use this function, use this, use underscore README underscore RMD. That opens this document, readme.rmd. So it has placeholders. So what we are going to do, we are going to edit. Readme.md is generated from this. Please edit that file. So what will happen is we are going to edit this readme.rmd file and then generate a readme file and a readme.md file from this. So I'll show you how to convert .rmd to .md, because the .md is what we see when we open the package on GitHub. But we type on .rmd, we don't type on the .md file. So the goal of Arjolov is to show participants how to create a simple working package. Installation, you can install the released version of Arjolov from CRAN with this, but I always put a disclaimer here, underscore, so that it can be in italics. Note this package is not yet on CRAN, underscore. And the development version from GitHub. So guys want to install that package, you'll need to use this line over here, but you'll pick it from the README once we push it to GitHub. Okay, example. This is a basic example which shows how to solve a common problem. So library, Jollof, adding, two numbers. So that was Jumuisha 45, 45. So what happens, you don't run the code over here. When we build the .md file, this line will automatically be ran and the results will be shown on the README file. So passing a greeting was Salamu. Who do we use? What's the name of the no, we won't use your president. Who do we use? Let me use my mom's name. Pass a greeting. The other one was let's use the two for now. And then what is special about, instead of this, you can include I don't care. You still need to render to keep this. You also embed plots, blah blah blah. Everything else we don't care. So that's it. So we've created our README file. Then the other part is building now the README. So the README.md, it's converting this .rmd file to a .md file. Oh, I'm tired. Installing. Okay, so if we come to files and open the .md file, you can see it's written readme.md is generated from this. Please edit that file. So this is the file that we've generated, and you've seen it has ran our codes. But anyway, let's push this to Git. We need to commit the readme to Git. So I don't know if you can see the pop-up, but adding a readme file, commit, push. If you refresh the link I sent you earlier, now you're going to see the readme. Confirm if you see the readme at the bottom. Okay, so under the line written and the development version from GitHub with the line that starts with DevTools installed GitHub. Pick that line, assuming that you have installed, pick that line and install the package. If you don't have DevTools installed, first install. Sorry, if you don't have DevTools installed, first install DevTools and then install the package using that line. Install under GitHub, install _ GitHub. As you do that, one other thing I wanted to show you is how to load a data set. So let's say we have this data set that I like using in R called infat. It talks about infertility. If I want to load this, if I want this data set to be part of my package, I just come and say use data, then infat. It adds a new folder called data. Oops. It adds a new folder. What have we done? Called data, and inside the data you can see your infat.rda. So again, because I have added a new data set, I'll need to commit my work and then say added a data set. Commit, close, push. So if you haven't installed the package yet, you can install it. You can wait a minute and install it using the new changes, which is just the data set. Okay. Close, then. Yes, so the new version of the package now has the data set. So if you've installed the package right now, you'll get the data set. And that's it. That's how you create a package. Again, as I said before, just a minute, we didn't document. Oh man, okay. We didn't document, we didn't load, we didn't do what? Sorry, just a minute. Load DevTools load. Okay. Man, okay. have added the data set, but then I hadn't like loaded everything, so it hasn't registered. That's what I'm trying to do now. Everything is up to date. Okay. So anyway, so on the chat, can we, if you've been able to run any of the functions after installing the package, please say yes. If you're having problems, please type on the chat. But that's it from me. So again, as I said earlier, the difference now comes in packages are different. We have packages that have so many functions, and the functions are so long. Things like dplyr, ggplot2, like those packages are, those packages have functions, and I believe the functions have codes that are too long. So the idea is the same. Whatever we've not worked on today is testing. I'm not a professional in that, but I will be soon. You can read about that. But I encourage you to now go back to the R packages book by Hadley and read more. There are many things you will need to know, things to do with importing packages, things to do with licenses, namespaces, a lot of things. But yeah, gosh, has at least one person who has installed it? Thank you. I'm done from my end, so.
All right. Thank you, Shell. Shell, excellent. This is excellent. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Excellent presentation, Shell. But before we dive into Q&A with everybody on this session, I would like to say something, Shell. Have you ever tested Nigerian jollof rice? Shell, can you hear me? Shell, can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello? Hello, Shell, can you hear me?
Okay, you can unmute yourself, Shell. We'd like to hear your verdict
Hello?
on Nigerian jollof rice.
I think, Bilkis, you need to unmute Shell.
Hi. Yeah, I wasn't able to unmute myself. I've never
Shell,
had,
can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you ever had a bowl of Nigerian jollof rice?
I've not had Nigerian jollof.
Can you hear me?
I've not had Ghanaian jollof, so I don't know which one is better. I see people fighting on Twitter.
I think we need to DHL.
Bilkis,
I think we need to DHL Shell we need to DHL her Nigerian jollof rice.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Right to Kenya.
We'll really work on that.
All right, without wasting much of our time, we would like to. Yeah. All right. So we would like to dive into Q&A now. And if any one of you have a question, you can type it at the chat while Shell answer your questions, please. Any question for Shell?
I hope that means I've trained well.
Yeah, excellent.
It can also mean that people have not understood anything.
Yes, excellent. So any question for Shell? Any question for Shell?
Okay, I think
So we can take some question.
Victor is signifying that he has a question. You can also unmute yourself now and ask your question directly.
All right, Victor, please, on to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Shell, for your wonderful presentation. It was really great. I really loved it.
Yes,
my question is regarding, you said that when writing an R script for the function, you should use one script file for each function. Now, I'm wondering how mindful that is. And also, there are some functions that you might would maybe be like helper functions to the function you're writing. Yeah, so how do you manage all that?
Wow, I see what you mean. I've never thought about it that way. I don't know. I've never thought about it that way. Oh my God, would you? Wait. Let me think, because I will have. Okay. If you have all these, I call them children functions. If you have all these children functions at the top, and then the main function at the bottom. Okay, I don't know. I think when
okay,
when I say do not put multiple functions on the same script, I think that works when both the functions the multiple functions will be the end the package will contain those functions. Let's call the functions function A and function B. So if both function A and function B will be exported with the package, you can't have both of them on the same script. But then I'm thinking if you have package function F1A, F2A, and F3A, where F1A, F2A are going to be used in F3A, for as long as you're exporting F3A alone, I think that works. That's what I would think. I've never tried.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Try and then you'll get back to me. I'll want to know how that works.
All right.
All right, thank you. Next question.
Hi, this is Pierre. Can I ask the next question?
Yeah, you're welcome, Pierre. Please do.
Great. Okay, great. Hi, Shel. This is Pierre. I know we've talked a little bit before, but I just want to say it was a great presentation. Real quick, I didn't get a chance to hear at the very beginning, but I was hoping that you could answer if there's any tips on package maintenance after submitting the package to be released and everything else that you've seen from other developers that others can probably learn to adopt. Just anything from what you've even a like, hey, this is I've seen people launch things and then kind of leave it for dead. So I'm hoping if you have anything like that you would give to the audience. And just want to say this was really a great presentation. So really loved it.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you here. I remember the last time we were together, we were in a class. Anyway, let me be honest. I think I am a beginner trainer, and what I mean is that I don't know much. I've never pushed my package to CRAN because one, I fear, and two, I've not had the time to perfect that. So I know we have Stephen here, and he recently pushed his package to CRAN. I've never, so I don't know much. Also, I can't talk much about maintaining the package, but what I've experienced in the past, and it pained me so much, is when someone develops a package, talks about it. Let's say in my case, I developed the Archenia sensors package and I publicized it, and people are using it. Then all of a sudden, I go make that GitHub repo private. You can't access the package unless you already installed it. So I don't know much to do with maintaining or what, but for me, I always encourage people, like if you have to create a package and publicize it and submit it to CRAN, make sure you've given your best. Make sure that this is not a package that people will start having issues with in future, because now they'll keep asking you to edit stuff and then maybe you'll not have the time to do it. So for me, I always encourage people, don't rush to submit it to CRAN. Let your package be on GitHub somewhere. Let people use it for long until it reaches a point where people are satisfied that this is a very good package. I've worked with it for 3 months, blah, blah, blah. Then, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I'm not a guru when it comes to package maintenance.
It actually does, Shell. It's actually, you raise a terrific point about how with any sort, and this is just goes into software development, whatever you're choosing is going to dictate how you maintain. What you just said was wonderful. So yeah, it answered my question, and thank you. Really great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you, Pierre. Yeah. Thank you, Pierre, for the advice and for the comment and advice. Yes, you can hear it. You all heard it from Shell that it's advisable you keep it on GitHub, let people use it, and you get feedback. So with this, we would like to have 1 or 2, 3 questions so that we wrap it up for the day. Any questions?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Shell. Thank you for the eye-opening presentation. I recently started experimenting with studio.cloud. And I tried installing the package on studio.cloud. And then it threw up a message that it is not available for this version of R. I don't know if you're familiar with such.
So you go back to the package and see what version of R is needed. What version was the RStudio Cloud? What version of R was the RStudio Cloud session using? You're not
I'll
sure?
check that. I'm not sure.
There's a time I worked on a package and I think I had R 3.4 and the package needed R 4 point something. So I needed to to upgrade my R version so that I could be able to install the package. Also,
right, that's great.
If the package is not on CRAN, it gives you such an error.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if the package is not on CRAN, I think it gives you such an error. So you'll have to go back to the GitHub repository of that package and install it using DevTools.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
More
Wendy
questions?
has actually, sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, go on.
Wendy has actually stated that. I think that's the reason. When you try and install a package through the usual way, install.packages, that assumes that the package is on CRAN, but then something like our package right now is not on CRAN. So if you installed it using install.packages, you will get such an error. So yeah, I thought so. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Shell. Questions, we're going. More questions? Let's have 1 or 2 questions so we wrap it up to the next item on the agenda. Before our next, in the absence of no any questions, I would like to announce our next webinar, which is on statistical modeling in R. Our presenter, our trainer is a person of K.O. Obise-san, a senior lecturer at University of Ibadan. You can see the link. You register. Registration is now open, and we would like to see everyone there. Please invite your friends, your colleagues. our community members. Let's hear from the statistician to come and tell us more about statistical modeling in R. So thank you very much, Bilkis. I would like to hand over this to you next so that we can, in the absence of no questions, and we can have the next agenda, which is vote of thanks. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Abubakar. So now I'll hand over to Jide to give a vote of thanks on behalf of the Abuja R user group and on behalf of everybody that joined us tonight. Jide?
Okay, thank you. We want to thank everybody that tuned in for this session, a fantastic session by Shell. Again, just as a way of introducing ourselves for people that came a bit late, this is the Abuja R user group. We meet to learn and share insights about R. Billy Case is the original convener, and we have other people that help as well. And finally, we want to thank Shell for a very fantastic presentation. We've learned a few things that we'll put to good use to learn more about package development. Thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, thanks.
All right, bye.